Namo namaste gurave mahatmane vimukta sangaya saduttamaya nityadvayananda rasasvarupine bhumne sada paradayam budhamne Namaste, namaste, vibho vishvamurte. Namaste, namaste, chidanandamurte. Namaste, namaste, tapoyogagamya. Namaste, namaste, shrutijnanagamya. Swarajya samrajya vibhutiresha bhavat kripa shri mahima prasadat prapta maya shri gurave mahatmane namo namastestu punarnamostu Namo namastestu punarnamostu Namo namastestu punarnamostu Namastasmai sadaikasmai kasmai jinmahase namaha Yadetat vishvarupena rajate guru rajate Yadetat vishvarupena rajate guru rajate Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru. So we will do the Shanti Patha first, and here in Taittiriya the Shanti Patha itself is repeated in the first Anuvaka, the first mantra of Taittiriya Upanishad. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha
Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha
Shanno Bhavatvaryama
Shanno Bhavatvaryama
Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi
Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi
Shanno Vishnururukramaha
Shanno Vishnururukramaha
Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo
Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami
Rutam vadishyami
Ritam vadishyami
Satyam vadishyami
Satyam vadishyami
Tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu
Tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu
Avatu mamavatu vaktaram
Avatu mamavatu vaktaram
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So in the last satsang we had discussed the deeper meaning of the devas, the gods, the names which are used in our Vedic chanting. Upanishadic Shanti mantras. I also mentioned that their whole idea was to move from the gross to the subtle, finally to the supreme truth. Now, as we proceed in this chapter, that is the śīkṣā Valli, we will find that there are a lot of upasanas have been spoken of. Upasana means by taking to which we generate a certain anubhuti, by practicing which we make our mind one-pointed, take away the mind from all other involvements of daily chores and focus it on a particular concept. That the concept starts from gross things, very basic things, but very soon it becomes subtler and subtler, finally taking us to the supreme truth. Now, as we proceed, we will find that there's a lot of emphasis given on the pronunciation of the mantras. That is why in the beginning of generally the Upanishads are supposed to be jnana kanda. So it may be thought that jnana kanda means we don't have to do the pronunciation properly. Those are all inferior and we need not take to proper pronunciation. If we understand the meaning, that is enough. That is why perhaps they have introduced this śīkṣā Valli, which means the science of pronunciation. This śīkṣā means the science of pronunciation. Now it has been introduced in the Upanishad perhaps to emphasize that the ucharana is very important. Now while saying that, I must also say that we have to understand the Vedic era and the present era. Our rishis were not spoon-feeding masters. That you will find everywhere, particularly in Taittiriya, at the last chapter, Bhrigu, you will find that his father, the Guru, Varuna, is telling just one aphoristic statement and asking him to do tapasya on that. And years of tapasya, he comes back with some understanding. The master again says one aphoristic statement, again he goes back and does the sadhana. So the meaning, it's not only in this, in many Upanishads, all the stories they emphasize that. The Indra and that Rakshasa, what is his name? Virochana. Indra and Virochana also. Each time Brahma, they are all Brahma's children, so Brahma was giving them instruction. They came to Brahma for spiritual instructions. He speaks just one word or one aphoristic statement and send them away for 36 years of tapasya. After 36 years they come back with what they have understood. They have not understood the right thing. So again he sends them back for another 36 years. Then when they come back again for 36 years, 336 means already 108 years have gone. Then I think the third time it was only 3 years or so. So that is the way they were instructing the disciples, because the truth has to be known by our own tapasya, not by feeding, giving so much of rationality, this, that, trying to explain in the manner that we don't have to do anything, and then we will start feeling that I have understood everything, I have understood the truth also, but that won't work. The realization will not come like that. So it is believed to be the emphasis on pronunciation given only to say that it needs lot of transformation in the in the atmosphere, in the being, all these things are generally, those days it was done mostly by the Shabda Shakti, the power of sound, the power of the words. Our rishis had done lot of research on the power of word. How? By chanting, by producing various kinds of sound and seeing the effect on themselves. Everything is an experimental knowledge in that. By doing the experiment, they see what is happening to me in my being. From there they start and they go on in an evolutionary process of reaching higher and higher planes, and finally to the completely the ultimate Chaitanya or the consciousness. That said, that kind of tapasya may not be possible for the people now. So it may not be that essential to do in that manner that which was possible in that era. Now what we do in the Upanishadic study is mostly take to the vichara, to the reason, rationality and all. And that is particularly important, particularly suitable for the modern era. That is true. But to understand what kind of sadhana was prevalent at that time, we have to understand these upasanas also. The various kinds of upasanas are discussed in this first chapter, śīkṣā Valli. They are, even if I explain here, it will not be understood. I will also not know because I have not done that kind of a sadhana. That I can surmise that if we do like this, this will happen, that will happen, whatever they have stated, I can understand the truth of it. But in detail, we have not done that kind of a sadhana. So we should understand the detailed presentation which has been given in this Upanishad. We should try to understand the essential points from there and what we should apply. It is very true that the correct pronunciation is necessary. Now, if we go into it, the correct pronunciation, we will find there are a lot of differences also. This shiksha, actually here itself we will find the word appearing with the ikara, long ikara, śīkṣā. Actually the word is shiksha. But in Vedas it is appearing as śīkṣā. Now that license is given to the Vedic grammar. It is not following everywhere the Panini Vyakarana, Panini grammar. So we use the word shiksha, but here it is śīkṣā. Now, as we learn the pronunciation rules in this, we also have to remember that these rules are not absolutely same everywhere. That is why you will find different Vedas have got different shikshas. That is Rig Veda and Yajurveda. The science of Ucharana, science of pronunciation, that is called Paniniya Shiksha. Paniniya Shiksha or Shiksha, whatever we say. That is Rig and Yajurveda. Then Samaveda has got Naradiya Shiksha. Why? Samaveda is to be sung. Rig Veda is everything poetic. Yajurveda is mostly prosaic, some portions are poetic. And Samaveda is to be sung in tune and all. So Samaveda you will find that if you can find out from YouTube or so, there are a lot of variations amongst the scholars in different regions of India. But whatever we find that sometimes the elongation is taken to many very long tune. That is not just one matra, two matras or three matras. It is very long. Sometimes the bringing in the harmony of the presentation, the ucharanas are changed and in a different manner it is done. Those are all necessary and they have the notations of that. marked on the Vedic text now. Now in the Krishna Yajurveda, the science of pronunciation is Vyasa Shiksha. In Shukla Yajurveda, you will remember Shukla Yajurveda came from Yajnavalkya, that is Brihadaranyaka is part of it. I said that Taittiriya was when Yajnavalkya, because of his ahankara, because of his ego, he had to give back the learning to his guru, Vaishampayana. And then again Yajnavalkya did lot of tapasya, they say of Surya, of sun. And he again attained Siddhi. And then whatever came out is Shukla Yajurveda, that main part is Yajnavalkya. So there Shukla Yajurveda follows the pronunciation of Yajnavalkya Shiksha. Atharva Veda, which is the last one, which has got Mandukya Shiksha. Whatever it is, if we analyze it is amazing the way, the more we go into the texts and all, we try to understand, we go deeper into it. It is unimaginably vast and deep, and what should I say? It is almost to us impossible the way our rishis have worked on these sciences of various sciences. And everywhere you will not miss one thing, that it may start with the pronunciation of each varna. If you just want to pronounce the letters of Sanskrit, so much of accuracy, so much of perfection, so much of science is involved. That we have discussed in other places or presented also. One has to learn. And still, various other things are there which we also do not know very well. Like Anusvara, in various cases, there are a lot of difference of opinions also, which I tried, but I could not find out a proper, in some cases, not in all cases. But the primary purpose is to start from the science of pronunciation to reach something called the universal Sama. Sama means, the Sama Veda is that, Sama means the universal harmony, the universal tune, that in tune with the infinite, we say that the tune of infinity, the ultimate tune of the supreme tune. So starting from such rudimentary things to reach that ultimate supreme harmony, that has been the mainstay of our rishis. That has been the main effort of our rishis. They found harmony everywhere, in nature, everywhere. And whatever they taught, it was starting from some rudimentary, from basic things of pronunciation of varnas, letters and all, to take it to such an extent that we are vibrating with the universal harmony, with the universal rhythm. To reach the universal rhythm was the basic effort there. And we should also remember that those days this written matter was not there. Vedas were learned by listening to the Guru. So the shishyas will sit and the Guru will chant and the shishyas will listen to it and learn. And the Shabdas have to come out in such a manner that the shishya's being starts expanding, finally becoming identified with the universal being, and if necessary going beyond that also. That is, through the Shabdas the truth will be imparted in the shishyas. Rest of it, it is all the shishya's sadhana. They have to integrate it, realize it through their own sadhana. In Mundaka Upanishad, That was the verse number some, I have forgotten now. Last day also I had said. He is saying that after Shaunaka asked the question, Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati iti. Bhavati means by knowing what, everything will become known. That was the question put by Shaunaka to Angirasa, the teacher, the guru in Mundaka Upanishad. Now in replying he says that Dve Vidye Veditavye, that two kinds of vidyas of learning, one has to learn. Two kinds of vidyas, sciences, one has to learn. Parachaiva aparacha. That one is supreme, para, another is apara, means inferior. Then he says, what is apara? And there he says, Rigvedo, Samavedaha, Yajurvedo, Atharvavedaha, Shiksha, Kalpo, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chando, Jyotishamiti. This is called apara vidya. Now this constitutes whatever knowledge, whatever learning was there, everything is included there. Spiritual learning, all the four Vedas are there. Rigvedo, Samavedaha, Yajurvedo, Atharvavedaha. 4 Vedas. And 6 Vedangas. Now they all have to be learnt. Veditavye he has used. Dve Vidye Veditavye. One can say that I know the Upanishads, so why do I have to learn the Vedas, the Vedangas? I need not learn all these sciences of Ucharana and all. I will understand by Vichara. Well, you will understand. But the fact is that they are saying that it has to be learned to have a complete realization of this. Because without the Vedanga, you will not be able to understand the Vedas or Upanishads. That was the idea. And those days it was all through the mouth, through chanting, repeated chanting. That was the sadhana. There, the first Vedanga is Shiksha. Shiksha kalpo vyakaranam niruktam chando jyotishamiti. What is Shiksha? The science of pronunciation. That means the science of sound, of the varnas and many other things which are made with the varnas. So that is what the Shiksha of Taittiriya Upanishad we will learn now, which is belonging to the Krishna Yajurveda. So it is not the Paniniya, it is the Vyasa Shiksha. Now the other ones, Shiksha Kalpaha. Kalpaha is the science of rituals. What is it for? It is for disciplining our life. These are all very, very important. We may not learn Vedanga, but all these things have to be done. Otherwise, the full blossoming of the knowledge will not be there. We may not learn the full pronunciation Shiksha, but unless we pronounce the letters and the Shabdas fully, the meaning will not strike our mind. So we have taken a different procedure here, that we cannot go on learning all the Vyakaranas and everything, but what we do is that we try to chant, we call it bhavanuga. That means we try to generate the real bhava in us. That means in our bhava we concentrate, we bring in the bhava of the ultimate truth. And then we chant the shlokas. So that from each mantra that bhava of the truth will come out. So in that somewhere some elongation tune, you will hear our Song of the Soul which we recorded long back. In 1992 we recorded the Song of the Soul. Some Upanishadic mantras as well as others. There are a few mistakes also, but in general we had recorded it not in the, we have not learnt also Vedic way of recitation. Vedic way of recitation with udatta, anudatta, the way they do, we don't know it. We have not learnt it also. But what we did was that keeping our mind focused on, say, if you chant something from the state of meditation, that is, you are unified with the truth and from there the chanting is coming out, then by listening to the chanting also you are able to reach the same state. It depends on your listening also. That is, you have to be absolutely free of all the preconceived ideas and backlogs and all. If you simply just float your boat on the tune, on whatever you are hearing, on the sound, that sound will take you to its origin, the silence. The sound will take you to silence. That was our idea. That we were asked also to, because some people, particularly one quite a renowned singer, she mentioned that when we listen to your chanting, I feel that meditation is dawning in me. Why don't you record it for the benefit of others? And she was behind us for 3 years or so. Finally, one day we went to the studio and recorded it. Long back in 92. In one day we did the whole thing, which normally would have taken many days. Now, that point is that we have written in the text of the book also in the beginning that if we read the book, read the shlokas, know the meaning, have the bhava, but finally when we are listening to it, we should completely relax and simply leave ourselves to float on the sound, float over the waves of the sound. Then it will take us to that meditative state. Because the sound is originating from a meditative state, it has the power of taking you to the meditative state also. So it is, but the chanting is not according to the Vedic way, that the udatta, anudatta, or all, it's not that. But as far as the shiksha is concerned, that the long, short and yuktakshara, etc., that to the extent possible, to a large extent it is accurate. Some mistakes are there. But we did it. Now, why am I saying? I am saying that we have done it with this mind. So we know that that way of doing also is correct. We need not learn the Vedic way as they were doing. And in some cases we have found the Vedic chanting has become so degenerated that they are so much given to udatta, anudatta and all that it has become a full exercise. I am not saying about everybody, but in many cases, most of the cases perhaps, it is just an exercise of almost several pandits are quarreling with each other sometimes. It becomes like that also. But our point was we must, through the chanting, we must generate the bhava of truth. The bhava of the Atma bhava has to be generated. Now what happened is that one, I might have said earlier also, generally we were not speaking about it earlier. One psychiatrist first wrote to us. She got the cassette from somebody and listened to it and wrote to us that I have found that the cases which I am not able to deal with, just by listening to this, people have got cured. So please send me 10 more cassettes of this. Those were the days of cassettes. So we sent. Then it went on up to 100,000 or so, but then the CD came and we said that you can duplicate it, there is no way, you can have as much as you can. The last thing we heard from her was that by treating patients, my mind has started becoming disturbed. So now I also depend on your cassette. Whenever I am sitting in my office, throughout the day, the Song of the Soul is playing behind me. Now this is an experimental fact. So it means that the sound has the effect we want. This is one example. Another example, it happened in Dalhousie. Somebody had a bungalow there and they used to go there and listen, spend the summer there. So the lady was listening to Song of the Soul by putting the earphone with the CD player. Now there were a lot of monkeys and langurs, big monkeys and all. So one day when she was listening, sitting on the veranda, a huge monkey jumped on the tiled roof and the tile broke and the monkey simply dropped down, fell down right in front of her. So there was a big sound and the monkey dropped there. So she got so terrified that her hand went like this and the earphones came out. No, the jack came out of the player. So immediately the player started playing loudly. She reports that I was surprised, I was terrified and I was about to run away, but I found that the monkey, something happened to it, and within a few seconds I found that he sat there and started listening to the music. He went on listening till the part was over, and when it was over, coolly it went away. Now next day, she says that I came out in the veranda, I found a big group of monkeys are sitting around, like a gallery. They have already taken that. This fellow had called the friends and other people and come there to listen to it. So I understood that they have to be, now I have to play the song of the soul loudly to them. And she played. Then she said that for 7 days or so, maybe 5 days, or I don't remember that much, she stayed there every morning. She was playing that, and it was like an amphitheater. They have their own status also. Some monkeys are of a little lower status, the langurs are having much higher status. So there are 2-3 kinds of being sitting all around in the different levels of the trees, and it was all surrounded, it was in a forest, so surrounded by forest, and listening to that. By saying that, what I mean to say is that it's not really the following the Ucharana, what has been decided by the Vedic rishis, that we can generate that. If the best way to generate the effect is to oneself get immersed in that ultimate state, and the sound should come out from that state, then automatically the sound will have its great power. Even on animals we are finding it has great power. Things have been tested by many people that they played some very good classical music and that the paddy field gave a bumper crop. These experiments are there. So when it is generated from the real bhava, that is why we are given to bhavanuyayi, that means following the bhava, chanting following the bhava. I am not saying that in that sometimes we are wrong, but we don't find anything missing that we are not able to chant in the Vedic tune. We have not learned. If we learn, we will be able to chant. But more important, we feel, is the chanting according to the bhava. So this is with an apology that we don't know. I am not criticizing the Vedic chanting, but at the same time I can stress that the importance is that through such chanting the Vedic rishis were trying to impart the truth in the disciples. But the disciples will have to learn it properly and chant it properly so that their mind and their intelligence, everything get integrated with this universal tune. That was their main purpose in it. And the whole Vedas, they were propagating like that from generation to generation till it became, the written form became available. And there also they were marking the notes and all. But that there are differences in different, different parampara in our country, in various places, there are differences. Okay, let us start that. Because here Shiksha is written as śīkṣā, we will also chant in that manner. So the second Anuvaka, Om śīkṣāṃ vyākhyāsyāmaha.
Om śīkṣā shiksham vyakhyasyaamaha.
Om śīkṣām vyākhyāsyāmaha.
Om shiksham vyakhyasyaamaha.
Varnasvaraha.
Varnasvaraha.
Matra balam.
Matra balam.
Samasantanaha.
Samasantanaha.
Ityukta śīkṣādhyāyaha.
Ityukta śīkṣādhyāyaha.
So he is saying that śīkṣām vyākhyāsyāmaha. I am going to explain you what is this shiksha, or we can say shiksha. Both are correct. This vyākhyāsyāmaha, it is starting with vi, a, then khyāsyāmaha. This vi always means vishesha rupena, means very well, going into all the details. And a means in purna rupena. A is samantat purna rupena. Vi, a becomes vya. That is, I will explain in great detail and in wholesomeness, in completeness of what is this shiksha, or the science of pronunciation. Now the science of pronunciation will contain various things. First is the varnaha. So whatever varnaha we have, that means a, e, u, these are the swara varnas. Then the consonants or vyanjana varnas, ka, kha, ga, gha. Like that we have some are called vargakshara, where it is disciplined, it is aggregated or tabulated according to the part of the, from where we are pronouncing, the cavity of our mouth, and whether we are aspirating or not aspirating, depending on that all the vargaksharas, like ka, kha, ga, gha, all, each ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. This is one set. Like that, all the sets are like that. It is ending, every set is ending with the nasika, with a nasal sound. And you find ka, then kha. The ka, if you add with an aspiration, it becomes kha, ka, kha. Then again ga, gha. That is, ka becomes kha with that h part added to it, and ga becomes gha with the h part added to it. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Now, these varnas have to be learned properly. It is not only varna, swara varna and vyanjana varna, then we have to learn the various sandhis, that is yuktaksharas, when it is coming as two together. Then there are various rules. We have been discussing sometimes also that what is it followed by and what is preceded by, all these have to be taken into account. That means it is not just individual varna only we are learning. It will depend on what it is followed by. Say visarga, in many cases visarga gets dropped, in many cases it becomes okara, in some cases it has to be fully come as aspiration. Similarly, Anusvara also, it changes. If it is followed by vowel, if it is followed by consonant, it is pronounced differently. Then suppose the Anusvara is followed by, say, kankana. After the Anusvara, it is coming ka. So in that case, the Anusvara will take the nasal of that kavarga, that is nga, kankana. Whereas pampa, it is, Anusvara is following pa, which is in the pavarga. So that nasal is ma. So pampa. Like that, there are various rules of pronunciation. These are all together called shiksha, part of it. That this is the learning of the proper pronunciation of the letters. It is very important because we must have a taste of the power coming out from what we are uttering. As I have said earlier, there is something called, in Vishnu Sahasranama it comes as, what is that, Maha? No, other also. Say something, it is not in Vishnu Sahasranama, Mahakarta say. The Ishvara, the God, is Mahakarta. Now, if we do not understand the meaning of Mahakarta, and if you say Mahakarta, then it won't have any power. That Maha, when you are expressing in English, you will say, great God. Great. You will not say great God. You won't say like that. Similarly, in Sanskrit also, finally the pronunciation will depend on its meaning. Then it's bhava. What is the bhava? Corresponding emotion connected to it. Then only the pronunciation will be full. It is not just wanting the ha is to be pronounced like this and ma has to be pronounced like this. When ma and ha comes together, maha, it becomes different. And what kind of maha? Whether it is mahapapi or mahatma, it is different. So, this is what they meant, just they have mentioned varnaha. That is, varnaha has to be learned, how to pronounce each letter, that has to be learned from this shiksha. Then the next thing is swaraha. Swara, there are three kinds of swaraha. Udatta, anudatta and swarita. Udatta means a high pitch where we are raising. You will find in Vedic chanting, they will raise the voice, bring down the voice. That raising is the udatta and bringing it down is the anudatta. And swarita is the middle way of uttering. So it is, in a way you can say it represents the pitch, but actually it is not just pitch. Swara is by changing of the pitch, it should follow a certain, the meaning should come out of it properly, going up and down. So after knowing all the varnas and all, when they are coming as a recitation or chanting of a mantra, we have to take care of where it should be udatta, where it should be anudatta, and where it should be swarita. This I said that we are generally not following the Vedic things. We have not learned, we are not following that. But we do udatta, anudatta, everything depending on the meaning, whatever bhava, whatever comes we say. Sometimes if the mind is very much stable, peaceful and deep, then it will come very well. It will come in a very, very good manner. But if the mind is distracted and the people who are sitting around, the audience is also distractive, they take away the mind from that ambience, then the ucharana will not come properly. Because we are depending on the bhava generated in the mind, and from that udatta, anudatta and everything is coming from there. The tune also, we generally sing in tune. So the tune also comes from that. So varnaha means how to pronounce the letters, each letter. Then swaraha means udatta, anudatta and swarita. Then comes matra. Matra, the word means measure. Matra sparsha astu kaunteya. Matra means it is a measurement. Any matra means measurement. Now in the pronunciation, the matra means some letters we pronounce for say one matra, some will be 2, some will be 3. Now the one we call rasva, 2 we call dirgha, and more than 2, say 3 or 4 is called pluta. Now rasva means all the vowels which are without akara, say a, e. The first one is rasva and the second one is dirgha. So when we are saying, say, matra, both are long. Whereas balam Ba, la, Ba and La both are one matra. Now that consonants are given only half a matra, not a full matra. But when some consonant comes with a joint consonant, then it changes. All those details we can go into and see. So matra means the how long each letter we will utter. Pluta means 3 or more. It comes generally in the Sambodhana or in Samagana. Sambodhana, it comes like, suppose you are calling Rama, Rama. That Ra is 2 matras, Ma is 3 matras, or it can be even 4 also. Elongation takes place there. In singing, often we elongate like that, particularly when it is end. Suppose we have an at the end, any halant at the end. Then if we just cut it short there as it should be, just halant is pronounced like that, it becomes a little harsh and abrupt. So we just end it with half a matra or so, little we extend in the chanting. It comes out nice and we do it also. And later on we found that it is approved by the Shiksha rules also. So there are Rasvasvara, Dirghasvara and Plutasvara, and Vyanjana Varna is given half matra, Ardhasvara, Ardha matra. Balam means accent, that where you are producing with lot of force to be put. This is very important. Without that, that is why we say we will not be able to chant properly unless we sit straight. Our spinal cord is straight. The proper ucharana will never come. You try to do Vishnu Sahasranama with the proper pronunciation, unless you sit straight, it will not come. Because when you do it properly, it sets pranayama in your being. Pranayama means pranasya ayama, means the breathing, a disciplined breathing in our being. It's not just to do with the matras and all. The breathing will be, the Vishnu Sahasranama has come out, composed in such a manner that when the mantras are properly chanted, you will automatically have a pranayama operating in your system. That is why if you chant properly, when you get up after that, you feel very light and energized and free. That comes because of the disciplined breathing. So the breathing is very much involved in all the pronunciation. Where the aspiration is there, the visarga has to be properly pronounced, from the navel we have to activate the whole being to produce that much of force. Similarly, where is there, the whole sound system in our being should vibrate, should be involved in it. Then only we will have the effect of the Then similarly the nasal and all, there are various things to be learnt in it. Lot of things are there, lot of rules. Not rules to chant properly, we have to do it. So balam is the accent. Then comes very important, sama and santana. Sama means how in music you will find that vilambita laya, druta laya, then classical, Hindustani classical, then Carnatic also it must be there. That laya, that means the speed at which you are talking. The speed at which if you are chanting. Now if you take the speed too fast in pronouncing something, it will interfere with your breathing. So what bhava you are expressing, depending on that, you have to have a certain laya or certain sama, that equanimity in expression, that everything should be equally distributed, having a samya in it, samata in it. It cannot be suddenly very fast, very slow, going this way, that way. It cannot be like that. That is, it should not be atidruta or atinyuna. All these things they have said. Then comes santanaha. This is very important in the science of pronunciation. Santanaha, which I was trying to explain in the beginning, that it is not just one word or one letter to be pronounced. How they are coming in sequence, the whole sequence will be involved. It is called discipline, integration of all the padas, of all the syllables, which gives rise to the samhita. It is called samhita, means it is how all the letters and the padas and the words are aggregated, combined and composed together. This santanaha, the santanaha, it generally we used for children. Actually, children is for keeping the the propagation of the vamsha. That means you are spreading out. Any person is spreading out with the children everywhere. A tree is spreading out with the fruits which are falling, the seeds, they give rise to other trees, and that is how the tree spreads everywhere. So this santanaha is a particular characteristics of which represent, when you go to the abstract level, it represents expansion, which we have been talking again and again and again, expansion of the mind. That means it should be able to always cover everything. Our consciousness, our awareness should spread everywhere, pervade everywhere, propagate everywhere. See how everywhere it is the integration with the universe is coming in. Ityuktaha śīkṣā dhyāyah. So this is what the shiksha is. Now, I said in the beginning that in Mundaka the Vedangas, 6 Vedangas, shiksha kalpaha. Kalpaha means the rituals we do. Rituals and various acharas. Without that, our life will become very, very indisciplined. Now it is, everybody's life has become indisciplined because we are flouting all those things. There should be a chandas, there should be a rhythm in life. It cannot be that I awake throughout the night and sleep whenever I like and then go out for party and this and that. This is not the way a real, intelligent, wise person should live. On one hand, we have become global citizen, true, but it cannot be at the expense of discipline. So there lies the greatness of the Vedas, that through all this tapasya, through all this austerity, they are trying to make our life in tune with nature, in tune with our society, with the other people, other mankind, other animals, and finally with nature, and in a level of cosmic level. You will find that in our imagination of each upasana, in each upasana, final we are going to the cosmic level, which we refer to as Hiranyagarbha or Brahma or Sutra Atma. These are all same name given to the, different names given to the same concept of a cosmic being. That is our life. The other last day I was explaining. It might be expressing through my body, mind, personality, but the life is a cosmic life which is expressing through the different body, mind, personalities. But it is a cosmic life. We have to go to that cosmic dimension to understand our universality, where lies our true identity. We will go to the next Anuvaka. But in this there is lot more things to be said. See, generally when we chant to correct the matras and all, generally we do the beating like a metronome. Metronome, you know, which in music they keep the tala by that. So the rasva, all the rasva, if you beat like that, all the rasva swaras will be one matra. But when it is coming to long dirgha svara, you will find that you give two matras to it, it will become correct. Similarly, when it is followed by one yuktakshara, then also it will take one more matra there. Apratyaksha. Apratyaksha. Say Amrita. Amrita is immortal. So it is ma with a rukara. Ru is a vowel. Now see, in this shiksha, just coming to my mind, in this shiksha it is written also the ru is not to be pronounced as ri or ru. Many people do as ri or ru. It is neither ri nor ru. Rikara is a new vowel, is a separate vowel where it is ru, 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 ru. Swamiji says they used to do in childhood, they used to practice like that, like that. So, because this otherwise the tongue will not roll properly. So rukara, it will be, I said, amrita, amaruta, amrita. Both are single only. A is rasva, mru is rasva, and ta is rasva. Amrita. But when we are saying, in Bengalis, most of the Bengalis will say Amrita. Amrita, Amrita. It is not Amrita, they don't say Amrita. It is wrong. It should be Amrita. Amrita. Now, when we are saying Amra, that is mango, it is Ma and Ra, Yuktakshara. When it is Ma and Ra, it is a two consonants. It is not single matra. So we will say, and A is long. We will say Amra, Amra. Apratyaksha, Apratyaksha, Aprakritistha. Apra, pra is pa and ra, both are consonants. But prakriti, 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 kri is not kri. Kriya when we are saying, that is ka and rafala, ra, both are consonants. So it is kriya. But prakriti, kriti, it is ka and rikara. Just one consonant with the vowel ru. So all these things have to be learned to properly pronounce. And that we try to follow to the extent our concentration and mind, and to the extent we can know, we try to follow. There we don't flout the rules. That is according to Panini also, these are true. I thought of giving the words which will come again and again. Those who will try to read the book will find it difficult because of some of the words which are coming, like this Sama, Santana, then many things like Adividyam, Adijyotisham. That I will give tomorrow because I have to put it on the slide, otherwise it won't be understood well. Now let us come to the next Anuvaka. We will come back again whenever necessary, the repeat we can do. Om Sahanau Yashaha.
Om Sahanau Yashaha.
Sahanau Brahmavarchasam.
Sahanau Brahmavarchasam.
Athatas Samhitaya.
Athatas Samhitaya.
Upanishadam.
Upanishadam.
Vyakhyāsyāmaha.
Vyakhyasyamah.
Sahano yashah.
Sahano yashah.
Oh, some books they are segregated as different mantras. The first one is only up to Brahmavarchasam. In this book, all are together. We will read all together, then again we will come back. Sahano yashah.
Sahano yashah.
Sahano brahmavarchasam.
Sahano brahmavarchasam.
Athatas samhitaya upanishadam vyakhyāsyāmah.
Athatas samhitaya upanishadam vyakhyāsyamah.
Panchasvadhikaranēshu.
Panchasvadhikaranēshu.
It is panchasu adhikaranēshu. Panchasu adhikaranēshu. Panchasvadhikaranēshu.
Panchasvadhikaranēshu.
Adhilokam.
Adhilokam.
Adhijyotisham. Adhijyotisham.
Adhijyotisham.
Adhividyam.
Adhividyam.
Adhiprajam.
Adhiprajam.
Adhyatmam.
Adhyatmam.
Ta mahasamhita ityachakshate.
Ta mahasamhita ityachakshate.
Iti achakshate. Iti achakshate. Ityachakshate. Ityachakshate.
Ityachakshate.
Athadhilokam.
Athabhilokam.
It is actually atha adhilokam. All these things adhilokam, adhijyotisham, adhividyam, adhiprajam, adhyatmam. Athadhilokam.
Athadhilokam.
Prithvi purvarupam.
Prithvi purvarupam.
Dyauruttararupam.
Dyauruttararupam.
This is Dyauhu Uttararupam. Dyauhu Uttararupam. After Sandhi it becomes Dyauruttararupam. Dyauruttararupam.
Dyauruttararupam.
Akashasandhihi.
Akashasandhihi.
Vayusandhanam.
Vayusandhanam.
Ityadhilokam.
Ityadhilokam.
Iti adhilokam. So here this panchasu adhikaraneshu, this is very important, that 5 approaches to upasana are mentioned. Actually it is not 5 different. The 5 they are together, the same upasana. Upasana means by which we attain the siddhi, attain something. What is that something? The ultimate here in this case. That is, we attain our integration with the universal being, or we attain the supreme, we can say. So it is same as Upanishad. Here you will find the Upanishad, so far as we have explained the Upanishad meaning, that Upanishad means by coming closer to which all the worldliness are removed. Nisheshena, sad means sadati, means it gets attenuated. Our worldliness gets attenuated. Here it is not just, Upanishad can be explained in various ways. Now Upanishad means the secret process of attaining the truth also. So they will say that this is what the Upanishad of this Samhita, that means of this Shastra, this is the secret of attaining the ultimate truth. So they will use the word Upanishad there. Repeatedly Upanishad word will be used. So I am saying that. Now the beginning it is Sahano Yashaha Sahano Brahma Varchasam. It is just like the Ishopanishad, Kathopanishad, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu. Or here also in the beginning Shanti Patha we have found that Avatu Mam, Avatu Bhaktaram, these are there. All coming from the same kind of mindset. Sahanu Yashaha, that means may we both, that means the teacher and the student, may we both become, it's not famous, may our brilliance spread everywhere. That is the Yashaha, the meaning. Yasha is generally translated as fame. That means may we both become famous. It is not may we both become famous, but we become spread everywhere, we expand everywhere. Now why this Yashaha? People will ask that, oh, is it so? They are spiritual sadhak and the spiritual master. Why should they become famous? Why should they need fame? We have to be very subtle in our understanding. We have found that in our ashram also to explain why we are doing certain things, why we are taking some decisions. It is not easy to make people understand that. Because it needs a certain dimension, impersonal dimension to understand it. When we are speaking about Yasha or anything about that, as I said that may my teacher be protected, I be protected. Here the intention is not our physical protection or our personal selfish protection. People will say that why you and your teacher should be protected, why not others be protected also? Why are you praying for you and your teacher? There are so many people. So a prayer like that, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, is much better. No, that has a different purpose. Here we are talking about Brahma Vidya. Once we have understood the real importance of Brahma Vidya, what is the importance of Brahma Vidya? It is unimaginable. We cannot even think of. Our civilization is existing after thousands of years only because of this. Otherwise, the whole civilization had gone astray, like Greece and Roman civilization. Always the Loka Sangraha is being done by this Brahma Vidya. People are brought back to the auspicious path. So a person who has realized the truth will understand the importance of it. So naturally he will understand the importance of spreading this Vidya to everybody. The more and more number, it is not Loka Sangraha. Many people think that Loka Sangraha means collecting more people for your group. It is not so. Loka Sangraha means Lokanam Unmarga Pravritti Nivittartham Karma. That means left to themselves, people will always go astray because of their selfishness, their greed and all. There will be always a vociferous tendency working in the society that the society will go towards degeneration. Entropy of the society will go on increasing. It will always go towards degeneration. So the Loka Sangraha is bringing back the society on the auspicious track, bridle the society. That is called the Loka Sangraha. So more and more people taking to this Brahma Vidya, a person who is given to Brahma Vidya, he understands how much important and how good it is if he could introduce it to everybody. We know that we will not be able to. Only 0.10 to the power minus 11, 1 will be perhaps taking to it. But even then, we understand the importance of it. So, Yasha doesn't mean that they want to become famous. It is not so. The teacher and the student, both of them should be able to spread the Brahma Vidya everywhere. That is the idea. This is a great impersonal dimension that they are speaking about. Sahanu Brahma Varchasam. Brahma Varchasam. Brahma Varchas means that those who are dedicated to Brahman, dedicated to the practice of Brahma Vidya, they should have a brilliance. They should understand the power of it. It is not a theoretical knowledge that scholarliness only we have done, and we have done lot of tippani, tika on it and everything on it, and that's all. It is the truth We should resonate with the truth, and that will make our body vibrant with the truth. It should radiate from us. That the radiation is called the Brahma-varchas, the brilliance of a real brahmacharin who is moving around in the Brahma sthiti. His face will radiate this Brahma Vidya, this Brahma Varchas. So Sahanau Brahma Varchasam means it is not only that we will spread everywhere. We will spread for what? We will spread only for the Brahma Vidya. And the Brahma Vidya should radiate from our being, from our face, from our everything. So that the Brahma Vidya starts spreading all over the world and beyond also. These are very great things. See, when I think I had not come to the ashram, but we were that when suppose the ashram is having some, not ashram, in those days, Delhi or Jamshedpur, some Jnana Yajna will be done. So people will collect money from people, because the Jnana Yajna means also a lot of expenditure is there. People they themselves cannot bear everything. It cannot be done by them. They have to have the money for it. So many people, even now, many people have lot of shyness in telling anybody that the money is necessary, or we don't collect, but you call it whatever. That the question is that any such function to propagate Brahma Vidya, it needs expenditure. Even to run the ashram, it needs expenditure. To run a branch of the ashram or any program, whatever we are running, it needs expenditure. So it is not asking money for any selfish reason. So people, until they are able to get out of their narrow sheath, they understand the importance of the Brahma Vidya Prachara, they will feel shy of asking from people. Asking people to contribute in such a great thing, by that the people who are contributing will be greatly benefited also, unknown to themselves, unknowingly, unaware of that they will be benefited. Because by that, at least by money, they are linking themselves to the prachara of the Brahma Vidya. So it is not collecting money to have more money and so that we can stay luxuriously or anything like that. The wealth is necessary for the propagation of good things. Whenever some good things are there, it should spread everywhere. That is why Dana Satra, we let people know wherever they are, we send letters and all. It's quite costly to send 10,000, 20,000 letters. But we do it so that we give people the opportunity to join in that dana, as long as they can share their wealth with the poor people who do not have anything. It's a great chance of sharing and joining in the universal life of the world. Being a part to the whole universe. It's a single life that is vibrating, pulsating in the whole universe. We are not an isolated particle. Human being cannot live isolated. For everything, for our food, for our dress, we are depending on so many poor people also. Everything is interdependent. To understand and be aware of this universality is great. And for that, if we have to tell people to contribute or go to them and ask them, there is nothing to feel shy. We should feel blessed that we are able to do it. But it needs that dimension of going beyond the personal level, becoming impersonal and thinking in terms of the Brahma Vidya and doing something for it. It has many ramifications in it, that in various ways it comes into picture. Okay, we will stop. Any good thing, good work done should be let known to many so that the good spreads everywhere as far as possible. Rishis were concerned about the truth, about this truth. Hence the prayer for the well-being of the society and for that to spread the goodness, spread the good everywhere. Our media should take care of this. Our newspapers, our internet, which is now the biggest media now. Rather than focusing on the bad things, they should focus on the good things. The good things, if it is spread, then automatically people will be inspired to do the good things. If you go on spreading the bad things, people will become bad. These are such simple truths, but we don't follow because of our greed for money or greed for something. We are not able to follow. So more and more we approach with this Taittiriya, we will find the picture of a society, of a civilized society. Beautiful. There's very simple things, but they are all there, which we have been hearing from childhood, never given any importance or so. It's a preparation of the Guru and the Shishya. And the master, when he has done his sadhana and he feels that he can spread the Brahma Vidya now, in this Upanishad he is then calling that, may the good brahmacharis from everywhere, from all over the world come to me. May they come and get infused in this Vidya. The prayers are there like that. Very good prayers are there. People will say that, what is this? He is calling Shishyas from outside. Without that, how can you spread the Brahma Vidya? When you feel that he has something to give to the world, will he not call? Call means it's a prayer. That let them come, otherwise whatever I am embodying, that will go waste. Okay, let us see how much we can do. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha.
Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha.
Shanno Bhavatvaryama.
Shanno Bhavatvaryama.
Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi.
Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi.
Shanno Vishnurukramaha.
Shanno Vishnurukramaha.
Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo.
Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo.
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi.
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi.
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami.
Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma vadishyami.
Ritam vadishyami.
Ritam vadishyami.
Satyam vadishyami.
Satyam vadishyami.
Tanmamavatu.
Tanmamavatu.
Tadvaktaramavatu.
Tadvaktaramavatu.
Avatu mamavatu vaktaram.
Avatu mamavatu vaktaram.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tat Sat.